Happy Friday. Welcome into the show. This is Philadelphia 76ers Now by Chat Sports. Chase Sr. here with you. We'll hang out with producer Chip here coming up in just a few moments. And we have a loaded show coming your way as I hope everybody is getting set to have a phenomenal weekend. Paul George going to make a 76ers debut, and Jared McCain is standing out early for Philadelphia. Before we dive into both of those stories and topics, if you're excited for Paul George to make his 76ers debut, I want you to type PG down in the comment section, but also hit that thumbs up icon and like the video. The wait is over. Paul George going to make his 76ers preseason debut on Friday night against the Minnesota Timberwolves. Somehow, though, nobody is going to be able to watch this game because it's not being televised. How does the NBA allow that to happen? NFL, NBA, one league does it right, the other league doesn't always do it right. Here's what Paul George, though, had to say about his preseason debut. Get some chemistry, but I think more so just get conditioning, like try to really blow out my lungs, try to really run the floor. The talent will make its imprint as the season goes on. It's not the end-all, be-all for the 76ers to play flawless basketball in Paul George's first preseason game. We're just looking at how he looks, how he fits in, what the potential is of this unit, and of course, as he noted, things are going to gel more and more over time. And going back to that previous point, unfortunately, neither Philadelphia nor Minnesota will be broadcasting the game locally. Hopefully the Sixers get some social media clips to put out there on the X sphere so we can actually see what PG 8-ball is going to be able to do for the Sixers, but no national broadcast either. So the only option is NBA League Pass with the in-arena feed. So if you do have that NBA League Pass subscription, then you're going to be able to watch this game, but on the in-arena feed. As for Joel Embiid, will he play at all in the preseason? He is away from the team for a, quote, scheduled assessment of his knee. Nick Nurse saying they are waiting for what's next. Is it a little bit of a concern? We know that Embiid lost some weight during the offseason. Hopefully this isn't anything that costs Philadelphia long-term, and hopefully Embiid is okay, especially after he signed that contract extension. Chip, what to expect from Paul George in the preseason? He said he wants to get the lungs activated a little bit, and obviously getting in game shape takes some time.
Yeah, I'll just say I'm so excited to finally watch him in a Sixers jersey. I know it's preseason. If I even can watch him tonight, who knows what's going to go on with that. But it's still kind of surreal to see him for the first time wearing that jersey, playing a real game. It's going to be awesome. Just thinking back like months and months ago before free agency and the draft when we were talking about it, about the possibility of Paul George coming to Philly. A lot of people were like, that's not going to happen, not going to happen, he's going to stay in LA. Now it's finally here. And I think in the preseason, obviously, it's the preseason. You're not going to, get to see everything that you're going to see in the regular season. And as he said, he's still going to be getting his legs under him and getting in shape. I'm just kind of going to be looking at early on how he's incorporated in the offense. Of course, if Embiid doesn't play, you won't get a full idea of what it's going to look like until the regular season starts. I don't think Embiid plays it all in the preseason, honestly, and I don't think Paul George plays every single game the rest of the way either. But just looking when he's in there, how does the ball flow around when he's in there? Where does he fit in the offense? Is he getting a lot of catch and shoot looks? What kind of things they run with him with the ball in his hands? And, how does he look moving around defensively as well? Obviously, regular season starts, you'll be able to tell a lot more of that. But just getting to see that and, getting some chemistry as well with some of your new teammates, with Tyrese Maxey when JoJo comes back. Because getting that chemistry is going to be a big deal early on in the season. And it's tough even in a full year to develop that. But just getting that started, they've obviously had practices and training camp. Nothing like game action, though. And I think that's why it's important for him to get out at least for a couple games here in the preseason.
Yeah, I agree. Making some good points right there. Ball flow, system fit. Obviously, just the potential of this grouping as an entire team. Of course, we're not going to see Joel Embiid, obviously, playing in this game, though, tonight. So Paul George's debut, again, if you're pumped up to see him in a Sixers uniform, maybe a lot of us are going to be seeing those clips on social media. Type PG down in the comment section. Today's 76ers now sponsored by our friends at Prize Picks, the best place to get real money sports action. With over 10 million active members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings, Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 100 times your cash. Run your game all season long with Prize Picks. They're also running a great deal right now where you get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive that $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. Our selections for the upcoming basketball season: Tyrese Maxey, more than 2.8 3-pointers made per game on average. Joel Embiid, more than 32.1 points per game on average. And then Victor Wembanyama, and this is a shoo-in, I think, more than 24.7 points per game on average. So it's daily fantasy sports made easy. Pick 2 or more players. You choose more or less on their projected stats. Get $50 instantly when you play $5. Jared McCain, let's talk about him. The rookie first-round pick out of Duke. He's been the talk of Sixers training camp so far and early in the preseason for the Sixers. We talked about him the other day. That quick trigger release, really impressive. And if he can convert on those 3-pointers, he can get some time early in the year and all year for the Sixers. Here's what Tony Jones of The Athletic had to say about McCain. The rookie out of Duke has been the talk of training camp and in the preseason so far. Multiple team sources indicate McCain has played extremely well in camp, especially on offense. He's played without fear, but most importantly with patience and aplomb, I guess that word is. He's a highly skilled guard who has a chance to be impactful at all 3 levels and can play both spots in the backcourt. I'm not smart enough to know what that word is or what it means, but the translation: Jared McCain off to a pretty good start for the Sixers during training camp and in the preseason. And I know that he's a little bit undersized, but he does offer an intriguing skill set to the Sixers team, because if he can be that knockdown 3-point shooter, he can be a really big contributor for this team and obviously grow on his offensive arsenal from there. The question: will he get minutes to start the year? If he comes out guns a-blazing, he's knocking down some threes, cookies from deep, then yeah, I don't think Nick Nurse is going to have any other choice. With the importance that shooting brings the Sixers team and floor spacing, I also like his versatility. He can play on-ball, off-ball. More from Tony Jones here. Still, don't expect McCain to be in the rotation on opening night when the Sixers face the Bucks. Maxey and Paul George figure to be the starting backcourt. Veterans Kyle Lowry, Eric Gordon should be the first guards off the bench. But in this collective bargaining agreement era, threading a roster between the present and the future is essential, and McCain is clearly setting himself up as Maxey's potential future running mate in that backcourt. Again, that lack of size, a little bit of a concern, but it's not like Jalen Brunson's all that tall, right? And you can get by if you can score a lot of buckets, and I think that Tyrese Maxey's a little bit of an underrated defender. McCain's going to have to work on that area. But if they can be that electric scoring backcourt, yeah, in the future, they could be the backcourt tandem for the Sixers team. So thoughts on McCain's early success here, Chip?
Yeah, this is great news for the Sixers. Look, you have Reggie Jackson, Kyle Lowry, Eric Gordon as your guards off the bench. And, of course, you have your starting 5 already set. But, look, how much can you really trust these older veterans to hold up for an entire season, an entire playoff run? I think the Sixers, for them to be at their best, I think they're better if you get a successful and a good Jared McCain as opposed to relying on Kyle Lowry, Reggie Jackson, Eric Gordon all year. If Jared McCain can be as good as we projected him to be right now, and he's knocking down threes, he's doing a little bit with the ball in his hands, he's fighting enough on the defensive side, which we've seen a little bit in the preseason, I don't think he'll start it all this season because you have Kelly Oubre, Paul George, Caleb Martin starting next to Embiid and Maxey. But if he can be that first guard off the bench and provide a little energy, a little juice. We saw at Duke, he's not afraid to shoot the ball. Yeah. And I'm glad that's translated so far in the NBA because sometimes these guys can come in, don't really know where they fit in an offense, especially on a team that's making a push for an NBA Finals run and already has a bunch of these established veterans. He could be a little bit passive, but I'm glad that he's being aggressive. He's showing out. Joel Embiid called him the best player at camp earlier a couple weeks ago. And it's just awesome to see this because the Sixers are going to need bodies again, and they're going to need people off the bench to come in and provide a spark. And I think Jared McCain has a skill set the Sixers could really use. Of course, it's still early. It's only preseason. I don't think Nurse will give him too many minutes early on, and he might play a little bit in the G League, but he could be a part of the Sixers rotation sooner rather than later, and that's very, very exciting.
So before we hop on out of here, Chip and I have talked about McCain. I'd like to see him in the rotation. I think that early experience is crucial, and that quick trigger release could really benefit the Sixers offense. Let's ask you this. Does McCain deserve playing time to start the year? Give us a Y for yes. Give us an N for no. Have a fantastic weekend. Enjoy the debut for Paul George, and we'll catch you later.